This is going to be a disaster on the second run.
Go ahead.
Hey everybody, it's Stu, and welcome back to Old Guys Playing Games. We're excited to talk about what's happened this week, which has been a big week in games. And I've got my friends here, Josh, Ken, and of course, Jason. Hey guys.
Hey. Big week.
Listen, I think we need to address what just happened, at least. I mean, really, we can't let that go by. This classic.
I was hoping we would skip right
Josh,
over it.
I think our listeners deserve to know the truth.
There's a possibility I know what happened.
This podcast.
Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a theory. Jason is going to be
button.
very
That's the
honest
problem.
about something.
Okay.
Please.
We
write this
just
down.
recorded like a 30-minute episode. One of our best
we?
ever.
Did we?
Well, we did an episode.
yeah.
We didn't
We
record
rehearsed one.
it. Anybody can make reservations. But what happened was,
hold
I think,
the
you know how, do you know what I think happened? You know all the things I was pasting in the side chat?
Yes.
I was doing a lot of alt-tabbing and like hitting lots of buttons. I'm going to keep my hands in the air. And I'm not going to touch anything because I think that's what happened. I think I accidentally hit the stop button.
So just to be clear, you stopped the recording during all of
I think
your
I accidentally stopped the
alt-tabbing.
recording.
And we
it's on me.
continued to talk for 30 minutes before you finally realized that you stopped recording
Because
30
I
minutes
looked
ago.
down and it said start recording. I'm like, what?
It could have been 40 minutes. I mean, let's look at the bright side. I think Jason admitting that he was trying to bring content to our listeners.
That's right. Great content.
And just unfortunately, we had he hit the button. So
How
let's
many years
try
has
to
he been
recreate
doing
the
this? I
magic.
forget, Ken, do you remember?
What's that? Sorry?
How many years has he been doing this, Ken? I forgot.
I think
11. Now it's 11.
11?
When I told you guys it was 10 years ago.
He is. So, but he's never had a podcast like this. And by the way, the best podcasts do this too. So we're up there with them. So it's great. So here we go. We'll be more succinct on this time. So one of the things we talked about, we really talked about it coming out last week was Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone Caldera, which is part of the Vanguard release, which is the new map replacing Verdansk. And we, in the previous recording, we talked a little bit about what that means. And so, Ken, would you give us a quick overview of what the difference is between Verdansk?
No. What is Warzone and what is Verdansk?
I'm sorry. What is Warzone and then what is
Don't give that attitude after what you just did, okay?
You can't hurt me, Jason.
Warzone is a large scale 100+ person first person shooter, kind of like we've seen Fortnite. Everybody's seen Fortnite or heard about it because they've seen the news. But it's a bigger scale for multiplayer. Gives you a chance to hook up with your team and come up with a strategy, build your weapons and ammo before you start going into the battle. So it's much larger scale. They just released a new map after 2 years. Originally it was the Verdansk map, and this one is called Caldera, which is a Pacific themed island, and you have the entire island available to you to play. And it's quite impressive, and we're all excited to see new things because we've been playing on Verdansk for 2 years, and we knew quite a bit about it and everything. There wasn't very much new to us on that, but this one, every time we play, it's something new.
Verdansk, so the new one's in the Caldera is in the Pacific region.
Yeah.
And where was Verdansk supposed to be?
Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
That's always the implication, but we never really talked about it.
Yeah.
I think it's like Springfield for The Simpsons. We don't know exactly where it is.
I think Springfield is like Western Pennsylvania. It sort of felt like.
We don't know where Springfield is.
I think it's in Kentucky.
Ooh.
Yes, it might be. It might be.
The devastation in Kentucky.
Yes, very sad. Very sad. Yeah. So I know we talked about some of the things we like. One of the things for all of us, the one thing I'll go back and say was Verdansk was the map that brought us all back together. So it actually launched, as Ken said, it launched right at the beginning of the pandemic in March 2020, and it's seen us through to Caldera to now. So that's going to be something that we're always going to remember. I mean, there's a lot of these games that the maps get redone, but that one I think for a lot of people is going to have a lot of great memories. So I'm sort of sad to see it going that way, but I'm really excited about the new map, and I know we're having a ton of fun. We just finished a game Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about the game we just finished? We just they just had a new game type, which is Resurgence.
Resurgence.
Right? That we just won. Well, Jason won with
no. I can't. I absolutely, as I said earlier, I was the instrument of the three of my teammates because
the dead teammates.
I am, as everyone knows, I'm incredibly impatient. There's no way I can stick in one spot, and that's what I had to do to win this game. I was at the top of some big crane platform thing, and it just so happened that the ring kept closing closer to where I was, and I would have jumped a long time ago, but these guys are, no, just stay up there. Let's see where the ring's going to go.
Yeah,
and so I laid down.
He was the last man standing of the team. The rest of us had been eliminated, and we were watching him play. So we had the advantage to be able to kind of guide him and help him along, and just so you know, get some perspective on why he's survived and why we won because of him.
We started at the top of the Caldera, actually at the top of the volcano. And when you're up there, I don't know what the area that we finally finished in. Was that the mines? Is it
Arsenal? Was it Arsenal?
I'm not sure. But if you are at the very top of the volcano and you jump all the way down, parachute down, you can land on this massive crane tower, which is essentially where I finished the game. And there's boards on the side, so you can lay down up there and not really be seen. I assume if someone knew I was there and they kept shooting me with an LMG or something, that I would have probably died.
It was wood,
but I don't think they saw me.
They didn't know you were. They didn't know you were.
It was a perfect.
So that was
spot.
fun. That was a lot of fun for a map. So I mean, I know Josh, you were saying that. I think we've been playing a lot of multiplayer, a lot of the really high stress, fast paced games, and what do you think of the new pace?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, it was. I think it's just a great mix of enough fighting and enough strategy, right? Whereas Battle Royale, there's a little too much open space running. You know, you could never run into
Chaos.
somebody. But Resurgence, it really gives you that mix. That's what I like. And I needed a little bit of a slower pace because of my frustrations with the multiplayer right now. Right. So throwing controllers through TVs and stuff like that, which I haven't done figuratively. But yeah, I like it. And it's very similar to Verdansk in terms of gameplay. But the World War II weapons, which are cool. And I mean, I think we just need to get into it a little bit more to kind of, I know there's some glitches, which, here and there, but overall it's good.
It's a good mix. I mean, it's a good blend of the multiplayer, which means you have a lot of people playing on a small scale map, and the large scale. So this Resurgence is an ever decreasing circle of poisonous gas, and it gets smaller and smaller. Yeah, and it continues to get smaller as the game progresses. So you don't have the advantage of having the entire map available to you right up from the beginning, but it's larger than a typical multiplayer map would be, and there's a lot more players as well. So it is a nice blend. It is a nice transition from multiplayer to the larger scale Warzone by having this smaller map to contend with.
And it's not the same map, right? It's Rebirth on Cold War.
Rebirth Island, or
the same map, but now it switches around, which is cool. I like that a lot.
Which was fun because you end up having your favorite spots, which we did on that one. This one you have to make decisions at the early onset of the map and try to say where you're going to go, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're not right. So that's sort of fun because it's different every time.
Here's Stu's thing: he likes to set a waypoint for everyone, and then he won't go there. He never goes to the freaking waypoint he sets. So Ken is always like, wait. I thought we were going to the...
I was just about to say, our teamwork has
Josh and I both get screwed on that because we're going right to the point that the waypoint that was marked. Stuart goes and finds a helicopter or something. Jason gets, shiny ball syndrome and goes off somewhere else. So we're all, Josh and I are like, where'd they go?
The only time I shift is if I see three guys going to it. I'm going to move. I'm not going straight to it. That's when Jason goes right for the mark. Yeah, there's 10 people going there. We go right there. That's cool.
I like to see the game that we won. Was it the game we won?
Yeah.
We won previous where Jason marked a spot and we all were going down to it. And then he's nowhere near the spot because he went the other one. So I think what ends up happening is there's the way the story's told. There's fact and interpretation, folks. And without data, you don't know what's true. I will just say this: someone needs to lead and make the call. I'm a leader. That's all you need to know.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's all you
Okay.
need to know.
I see.
Anyway. So we have a lot of fun, and the fun part is like Jason is the one we played for years together, right? Where it's like we lost because we didn't stay together. Right? Jason be like, we lost, and we'll win, and we don't stay together. He's like, yeah, okay, fine, but still. So that's what's great about it. Every time it's different, and what's nice about this map is, and why we like playing this game is when you're playing with other. Almost bounced out there for a
you're
second.
here.
Oh, I did. It got air. When you're playing with other people, you're playing with other humans. They're not bots, so you get real time sort of decisions. So it's fun. All right. Well, I think that's enough about Call of Duty. We've talked about that a lot lately, and obviously there's been a lot of stuff coming out. Why don't we touch quickly, because we haven't played it, on the same day, which frankly not great timing, that came out was the Halo campaign and the non-beta that we were talking about last time. As Jason said, it's time to come out of beta, Halo. Well, they came out of beta. We haven't played it, but one of the things that we were talking about is the campaign, which for those of you that don't know, campaign is where you actually follow a story arc. And in the previous game, Call of Duty, it's very linear. And I think, Jason, you said you saw some of the Halo ones going to be a little bit more open, right?
It's open world, and there's all these different missions that you do in the open world. And I assume, but we'll play it and we'll come back and report it. You can sort of choose to do what mission you want to do, and then you can do these little side challenges, which has Ken written all over it, because all of us will just do the 10 missions or whatever it is, and we'll just do them point A to point B. Ken will obsess about getting every possible side mission in each one of the 10. Let's be honest.
Completionist. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
He is. He always has been.
But Ken is going to be a while until Ken does this, because he's way behind on campaign games.
I am.
He is. Yeah. So we'll let that one go for now, because we could go longer on just talking about Halo. But until we've played it, we really can't give you much insight other than we know it's out and we're going to see what it looks like. And there's a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously, it is the OG game for Xbox, right? It is the one that's been around forever, right? So
they're making a TV show about it now.
On
Peacock that's right. They
Plus,
are, aren't they?
It looks awesome. I sent you guys a link.
Anybody have Peacock Plus?
I do.
Nobody has Peacock.
I do. Yeah, I've got it.
Of course I have
you
it.
do not.
I've
do you
got it.
really?
I have it. Superstore's on there. The entire
And The
season.
Office is on there too.
Yeah, The Office, Superstore, 30 Rock.
Oh, there you go. See,
all the NBC
50%
shows.
of the population has Peacock Plus.
Well, you'll get it when you see the Halo trailer. I sent the trailer. It looks fantastic.
Nice.
Ken will get it for me. Anyway, all right. So
buy this.
What does that mean? Can you dig deeper into that comment?
No. What I meant by that was when Ken's down here, we're going to come to Jason's hacienda and sit on his new couch and beanbag, I will say, and watch the new Halo series.
Oh, that's a good idea. I don't know when it launches, though.
Okay. Well, we can't. Well, unless you want to come over here, we can log in in the Brown House. Okay. So, all right. So let's get to the next thing. This is a weird one. But actually, before we get to this one, because this one I think is going to require you folks to go get a snack, because we're going to be talking about snacks.
Popcorn.
So this is probably a great place to take a break. So while you listen to this ad, go to the fridge and get yourself a snack, or don't listen to the ad and go get a snack. We don't really care. And when you come back, we've got some really interesting stuff to talk about video games, snacks, and product placement. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and I hope you've got a great snack. I personally do not, but
you're not a snacker. I don't know that.
Snacker.
No, you're not.
Considering my size, that's shocking.
It is.
It is. I'm not a snacker. I never have been. I'm not a sweet
that
tooth
plate
either.
of bacon you had?
That's
two
not
plates.
a snack.
He had 2 plates this morning, just to be.
Bacon is life. Bacon is life.
Bacon is life.
And Jason ordered my bacon perfectly. He knows me.
It was cute. Very cute.
So, Ken, this is your topic. So there's something weird when it comes to video games and snacks. Do you want to fill us in?
Yeah, this is weird. This reminded me, since we're talking about video games, and I figured this might be a topic that needs to be discussed. So
it needs to be.
Food companies and snack companies decided that they were missing out on a market, and they felt that they needed to make video games to appeal and get their products out there. And I'll start with the one I played the most. And embarrassingly, there's one from Doritos called Crash Course, and the game has nothing to do with Doritos. It's basically a side-scrolling game, obstacles like American Ninja Warrior or American Gladiator.
Is this an Xbox game?
Yeah. It was actually, yeah, it was one of those indies that they put out there. But yeah, that one had a sequel. So so they had two of those. But it's just odd to see games that incorporate the food item, like World Gone Sour. With you play these little Sour Patch Kids, you play the actual Sour Patch characters and run around. It's just the weirdest thing.
How does Ken know about all these damn games?
Breadth of knowledge.
Have you guys ever heard of these games?
Cliff Clavin, a video game.
But haven't you seen like the McDonald's and Burger King, the Happy Meals? You know, they had a video. Burger King had one called Sneak King. That was you play the king and you go around. Your goal is to creepily sneak up on suspecting people. It's very, very strange way of doing it. I don't understand why they thought that this was a good way to market their products. I mean, obviously we're talking about it right now, but none of you have played these games.
None of them. I've never heard of them. It's not a matter of me playing them or not.
You didn't even know they existed. And I encourage everybody to go out there and look out the absolute worst one. And I'm going to tell you the name of it, but I'm not going to tell you the product they're selling. The name of the game is called Pepsi Man. And it's absolutely horrible game.
How would we not know the product they're selling in that name?
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to tell you the name of the game is called Pepsi Man. So you go and look that one up, and you'll see how terrible it is. But it's a very.
Is this going to be like the Homer Simpson time he was selling? What was he selling in Japan? What was that?
The Power Mr. Fishball Blighthead.
That's right.
Simpsons. I don't know.
Anyway, it's just I thought it was odd that this is an actual thing that they're marketing these video games based on food, like Tony and Friends, Kellogg's Land, and Ronald McDonald and Magic World. It's like, do we? Is this
like
what
the
we need?
Hunt Tony the Tiger? Is there like?
But really,
no, none of that.
who's playing these games? That's what
I played one.
Yeah, I played it's not one. Something he's sitting around and playing Pepsi Man 20 hours a day. Like
Ken is
like playing these things.
Ken is like that guy at the flea market that has like a booth of dusty old video games and or whatever, right? Treasures, but it just so happens his is video games. And someone walks in and like, do you have this game that's like you're a yellow character that goes, and Ken's like, oh, do you what platform?
Pac-Man.
And then knows exactly the game and goes, and he's like, we've got 4 copies of that. That is Ken.
That is Ken.
It's like raise.
I know other stuff too, not just video games.
Okay,
that's true. That is true. So okay, so to get a hold of, I don't think he's a tractor guy. To get a hold of this, I mean, Caterpillar
tractor story.
I was sorry, Ken. I was thinking tractors as in farm tractors, but we're not talking heavy.
I get it.
Sorry, my bad. So okay, bringing it back to the old guy part of this. When we were kids in the arcade, there were a couple of games that were food based. Can anyone remember them? Josh, can you remember any of the food-based games we had in the arcade back in the day?
Well, Burger Time was one, right?
Burger Time. Can you explain Burger Time for the kids out there?
Honestly, I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember playing that game over and over. I don't even remember what the object was.
You're basically controlling, if I remember right, you're controlling the bottom part of the burger as the things you need fall from the top, and you're stacking your burgers in order to make the right order. It's basically training kids to work at McDonald's. Burger King is what it was.
I wonder if they have that at the Replay Museum. We should try to.
Well, we'll get to that. They may. And there was another one. Does anybody remember the one that revolved around a beverage?
Tapper.
Tapper is correct. Nice job, Jason. And what was
love Tapper? Tapper was essentially. It was actually very similar to Burger Time.
It was
in that you had to make sure that you were filling up and serving. I think it was root beer.
It was root beer,
not to be confused with what it appeared to be beer in these like.
It was
mugs,
basically like a German
mugs.
Beer hall where you're like shoving beer down the table.
Right, you're throwing beer down that long table. It kind of looked like that, but yeah, you had to get them, and it was. I want to say like Burger Time and this were on similar sort of platforms. But it was a fun game. It was one of those games that I got addicted to really quickly in the arcade because I could play it for a while. on a single quarter.
Well, going back even further, Pac-Man technically is
what's he eating though?
Eating game. It dots chiclets. I don't know.
Chiclets.
But that's an eating game
Valium.
as well.
Yeah. What was
Valium? Is that what you just said?
I said Valium. Was there a?
Weird.
It was the 80s. Was there a
Valium in the 80s?
Why am I thinking pretzels?
Pretzels?
What was the pretzel?
Was there a pretzel time?
Yes.
No, but
what is pretzel?
Didn't the center?
Was it pretzel time?
No, I'm not going to go with that.
No, but
I'll look it up.
I thought the center item of some of the Pac-Man derivatives were.
I think that's what
cherries and pretzels and stuff.
Oh, that's it. But there's something is reminding me about pretzel time.
I think that might have been a restaurant. No,
maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I do remember that one of the there was it like not Miss Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man was pretzels, I think.
That's probably what you're thinking of. Yeah.
But anyway, Super Pac-Man, when you get that big giant Pac-Man on the screen,
right.
You couldn't see the screen underneath. Yeah. But anyway, so okay, I think that's enough about food. But leave it to Ken to find that sort of niche in the world that no one knew about, which was really product placement. Video games, right? So who knows what we'll have next?
Do we have to talk
Doritos
about
will
the
show up in
etiquette
the
of
middle.
eating while you're playing video games?
There's no etiquette. If you can do it, do it.
No, there's etiquette. I just don't think you recognize it.
I think
I mean, the only etiquette I
Ken
can
doesn't
think
like
of is
when
mute
Josh
your
and I-
microphone, which maybe we could do more often, but where's the fun in that, right?
listeners, you have now stepped into the divide between Ken and I and Jason and Josh, and that is that Ken and I do not stuff our faces while we're playing video games.
I take exception a little bit because it's not like I would say percentage-wise, Jason, is it 20% at the most?
Yeah, 20.
No doubt.
I am going to snack while we play in a few minutes.
Well, first of all, yes, Josh, you are not the main offender.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well, that's
my
really all I
popcorn.
was
I
looking
have a
for,
popcorn
as long
But
as
the other
You are
80% of the
an
time, you're chewing bubble gum.
All right,
Josh.
fine. I'll give you that one. But even that,
It's not really
even
bubble
that,
gum.
maybe,
It's not like
maybe
Bubblicious.
15, maybe 15.
Hubba
It's
bubba.
like we're in there with the popcorn when they're eating it, because you can imagine the microphone's right next to their mouth, and then it's in our ears.
That's the problem with the new Xbox wireless controller is there isn't the mute button is up on the ear. So on the old controller, I could do it with that little button right next to and I used to do that. You guys don't know that I used to eat most of the time, but I was using that button. I can't use the button anymore.
You can.
Really?
You can. Yeah, you just reach up and press the button.
No, that's a long
take
way.
a mouthful.
Where's the fun?
Coming
in
from
that?
shovel food in your. Okay, if you can shovel food in your mouth, you can reach the mute button.
I saw these
Well, no, 'cause
cool
his hands are
things. You're
busy
reminding me.
eating the food.
I
You
saw
need the mute.
They sell these cool like chopstick things that go between these two fingers, and then it's like chopsticks that you can pick up Cheetos or Doritos while you're playing a video game. You can grab it without getting your fingers all.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Like
I was saying there is as a public service announcement for those that want to really be able to eat during video games. It's got to be dry. It can't be greasy, right? Something you can shovel in your mouth during a respawn. With
no
reckless
ribs,
abandon, and that's it.
I think that's good for everyone to know, and I think Jason, you need to order some of those chopsticks, as you said, to see if they work, and you can give us a review.
I will
on the next episode.
And maybe on the next episode, Jason, we should do a demonstration just to see how loud it really is, right? Like, let's just shove some Skinny Pop in while we're playing.
That's true, because these mics are actually even better. So
great,
fantastic.
Yeah, that's what the
little ASMR episode.
That'll be great.
Ooh, I've got some breaking news
for our four listeners.
I have some breaking news.
What do you have?
The founder of Nintendo passed away today, and I'm not going to get his name right, but he passed away at 78.
There you go. What was that, Ken?
Masayuki Umura.
Yes.
There we go. That's very sad.
That's very sad. The Nintendo, introduction to all of our lives. This first Nintendo system was, as we talked about before, that's a really big deal. That guy started a huge movement. You have to admit. That's really sad.
I mean, yeah, I think all of us will say that. I mean, Nintendo it's been consistent in what it's delivered since day one. which has been fun family entertainment. And whether it was the original Nintendo, whether it was the Wii, which I think we all love when our kids are younger. Which
I still have my Wii.
The Wii is ridiculous.
I love that you could get grandparents and you could get kids all playing the Wii together, and it was something you could do because the bowling was awesome, the baseball was awesome,
tennis,
and then I think even the Switch. Right? No, we don't have Switches, and maybe
I think Ken has one.
Yeah, I've got one.
Do you have one?
Of course he does.
But maybe we need to get a Switch because I've been telling Jason I'm missing Mario Kart as a co-op game to play.
Ken found one for Xbox. It's not Mario Kart, but it's similar.
I was in the closed beta for it, and it's remarkably similar.
Is it
to Mario Kart? Almost
Stefano Kart. Is it?
It's pretty close. No, the name of it is called Kart Racer or Kart Drifter or something like that. But the game, of course it's a K. But the gameplay is eerily similar. And,
do you have to buy it?
I think the open beta is out right now. So if you guys sign up for that and download it, you should be able to play it. I enjoy it because of that craziness that comes with it, because it's just a fun game. It's not meant to take serious, and it's just goofing around, and of course
one of those.
Yeah. We need to start.
I'm
branching
down
out a little bit.
I am too. I want something that's just sort of, because I've been watching some people I follow on YouTube, and when they do they do a lot of heavy topics, and they play Mario Kart, and it's just like everybody can get along. That's what I like. That's, I think, the legacy that he left us.
Yeah,
is that he had a platform that anybody could get on, and you would see smiles and people have fun. So thank you for what you did for us.
Absolutely,
right?
they were the Disney. Nintendo is the Disney of the
that's a good point.
Before they became money grubbing and greedy. Yes,
but Nintendo, oddly enough, has actually outlived its contemporaries. If you think of like Atari and all them, they're no longer around as consoles, and Nintendo's still going strong.
I always wondered, can they continue holding on? Right?
Yeah, I think as soon as you think they're going to be counted out, they come up with something that gets the next generation.
They could go cross-platform and make a fortune, right? I mean, if they went cross-platform they would make a fortune if they had Mario Kart, cross-platform and other stuff, right?
Yeah, for the licensing of the games, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I meant.
Why wouldn't they ever do that? I wonder.
Because they're still a hardware company, right? I mean, I think they're still trying to, and they want to control the niche of who can play and how they play, and they're still trying to keep that ecosystem safe.
I think the majority of their money does come from the hardware they sell, with addition to the software that's exclusive to their product. But exclusivity is obviously not something new. Halo is a perfect example of that. Forza is a perfect example of that. Spider-Man for the PlayStation side is
show up until this year was that way too. Yeah, definitely.
So if they keep it that way, they'll still be successful. But I think that they are missing an opportunity by not partnering with a larger company.
I agree. Well. Again, I think it's very sad to hear the news, and hopefully all of you that out there can remember the happy times you played with it, and hopefully the company continues on. So thank you, Jason, for that. I think we're getting close to the end here. Before we get there, I want to make sure everybody, if you have anything you want to bring up or any topics you want to bring up, I'll start with Jason. Jason, anything you think we missed that you might want to bring up?
Well, just going back a little to Halo, that what we're going to do is we're going to talk, I think maybe on the next episode, I'd like to host a segment on co-op. Now, the co-op for Halo Infinite doesn't come out until next year, but I think the topic of co-op games is going to be a good topic. So think about what your favorite co-op games are, and during the next episode, we'll touch on that.
And we still won't finish that last mission in Modern Warfare.
Oh my God!
We got to go back.
We have to over the holiday break. We have to finish
that. Torture you guys on that.
Done. This we will finish it. So, Josh, anything from you?
No, I mean, I'm ready to get back to testing out the new Warzone. That'll be fun, and getting back into some multiplayer with more Zen, bigger maps and more Zen.
Right, I like it. More Zen in your life, folks. There's your logic from Josh today. Ken,
I just want to bring up something that I think Jason will probably expound upon. There's a documentary about Xbox coming out on December 14th that I encourage everybody to go out there and watch.
Where will it stream, Ken?
Actually, it's going to be on a lot of the mediums. So YouTube, you can find it on YouTube. That's probably be the easiest place to find it. But there will be an Xbox.com link from there.
We're going to try to stream it together.
I think we should all do a little party viewing. Watch it all together.
We can watch it in Stu's Theater.
Or there, yeah. I just think it would be fun. I think
popcorn.
We could talk about it the next time as well.
I love that idea. The theater will be open, so we'll come and have some fun. Great. Okay, one of the other things, Ken, you're going to be with us physically in about a week and a half. So we're going to try to visit what's the name of the arcade?
Replay Museum.
The Replay Museum in St. Pete,
Nope.
Florida.
Tarpon Springs.
In Tarpon Springs, Florida.
He always
so
says
there you
that.
go. I'm sorry. And we're going to try to go visit and play some games, and we're going to try to record us having some fun, at least talking about the games. So stay tuned for that. We're looking forward to having Ken down here in sunny Florida to be with us. So excited about that. So if there's nothing else, then I think that's a wrap. So for Old Guys Playing Games, I'm Stu.
I'm Jason.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Ken.
And we are out of here. Did we get it this time?